This story opens up with a festival of art and dread. Not even a month into my first year at university, I had been instructed by my professor to attend. Her intention was to let us explore this festival, to enjoy the music, mingle with the people, and to taste the richness of the culture and art of the area. It sounded nice, but I knew how these things played out. Yet when I objected, she told me that it was required. I don't know, I'm not really good with loud noises. It's not gonna be loud. I brought my earplugs anyway. Thankfully, I went with a friend. Chance, my goat. He really came in clutch here. When I arrived, I was really excited because I loved doing things with my friends. I ran ahead, turning onto the street where the festival was being held, and it was like I hit a wall. It was bright, lights were on everywhere. The smell of food, of sweat, filled the outside air. I starkly remember the crowd. People everywhere. The buzz of their chatter filling the space like waves. The people next to me were talking about getting hot dogs, the old ladies were thankful it wasn't raining, the children were laughing and screaming, music was being played out of the speaker next to me, and there was music being played in the distance. When Chance came to me, I couldn't hear what he was saying, so I just followed him. We explored the place together. He was having a good time, as anyone would, while I was wading through a pond. Every step I took felt heavy, but I kept pushing because I wanted to be there. I didn't want to miss out. There was live music. It wasn't bad music, but it was so loud. Even my earplugs weren't good enough. Nevertheless, it seemed like no one else was bothered. It was then that I started to fade fast, like I slipped on a rock and ended up under the water. I felt like I was floating away from myself, almost like I was controlling my body with marionette strings. I slowed down, began to lose sight of Chance, unable to keep up. Part of me wanted to quietly leave him, to go home and let him have fun. There were these cute trash sculptures shaped as snails that marked the crosswalks. I was drawn to them because I love snails. They are almost a comfort animal to me. They're slow and calm, vulnerable and gentle. I wanted to lay down on the pavement beside them, curl up in my shell, and just sleep. I figured that what I was experiencing here was a sensory shutdown. They're often acquainted with autism, but I don't want to claim anything specific because I haven't been diagnosed yet. Shutdowns like this can occur when exposed to any kind of stressors, but sensory shutdowns are specifically reactions to sensory-related overstimulation. This overstimulation can be more common in people who are more sensitive to sensations than others, often due to a neurodivergency. What my body did was automatically reduce the amount of stimulation that it can process, which in turn slows everything down. It might seem peaceful, but is genuinely quite scary, as when it happens, I feel like I lose a bit of control over my body. When Chance found me, it took a while for me to figure out how to speak, like I was in a dream and lost my way in my own head. I needed to speak. Before he started saying things, I knew that he was going to ask, "What's wrong with you?" That he was going to tell me to get up and stop being a drag. But he didn't. All he asked was, "Do you want to go home?" And we skedaddled home. Turns out he was kinda done too anyways, so it wasn't a big deal at all. Despite being there for a few hours, I genuinely remember very little because of what happened. Now, you've probably picked up on it, but this was not, is not, and won't be my last shutdown. I have a very low threshold for certain sensory inputs like sound, color, and light, and it brings these on even when I do my best to prevent them. But the reason why I mentioned this sensory shutdown and not another one is because it had the longest recovery time of any I had up to that point. I was stuck in this slow and removed state for 4 days, which prevented me from being able to socialize properly or do things at the same level that I usually did. And I'm not the only one who deals with this. Although the symptoms and experiences differ from each person, there are a lot of people who are more sensitive to sounds or feelings that may have these sensory shutdowns to protect themselves from overstimulating environments. It's just that these shutdowns are quiet and can be really easy to miss if you aren't the one feeling them. But it's not all hopeless. There are ways to deal with and prevent these shutdowns. I've seen quite a few people deal with sound sensitivity by wearing headphones, and some people bring comfort objects to help themselves get grounded after or during a significant experience. The most important remedy, though, is rest. The way I've tried to handle them is just by avoiding these situations completely, but that in turn also means that there's a lot of things I won't do. No loud parties, no swimming, no concerts, no bright, exciting TV shows, no metal music, etc., and it makes it pretty restrictive. Recently, I've been feeling really bummed about it. I mean, I can go to a party, but I'll shut down so quickly that I won't even be able to enjoy it. So I've been taking some steps to explore ways that I can do these things, often in controlled environments where I can decide how much I can handle. One of the main inspirations I had for making this video is the Amazing Digital Circus. It's a fairly popular show, I don't know if you've heard of it, that's quite close to finishing. And with the last few episodes coming out, a lot of my friends have been talking about it, and it low-key seems pretty cool. And I have to admit, I was feeling jealous, because my sensory issues made it difficult to watch the show. Specifically, it was the bright, saturated colors and fast-moving shapes that would overwhelm me and genuinely cause me to lose focus. I'm not sure if it was intense enough to be called a shutdown, but I couldn't even get past episode 2 because my mind got really exhausted, and I kept drifting off, and eventually I just gave up and rested for the rest of the day. But nevertheless, I really wanted to watch it, and it annoyed me that I was so sensitive. So, after some deliberating, I decided that maybe I could try to enjoy it by watching it in black and white. I was a little anxious, but it actually worked out. It was a lot scarier than I thought it would be, though. But it was nice to finally watch it. Another thing that's a little harder to remedy is going to concerts. The whole idea of it is an utter sensory nightmare, and guaranteed to be much worse than my sleepy little festival experience. But I've always wanted to go to a Miku concert. To see her on the stage, to be with the people that love her as much as I do. The fact that there is a concert for such a niche kind of music just feels so special to me. And the idea that even if I had enough money to go, I still wouldn't enjoy it the same way other people do is just really hard. But I do like to get the concerts on DVD, because then at least I can sit on my couch and enjoy them in conditions that I can control. Being by myself with a concert from 2016 really isn't the same, but it does make me happy. A few months ago, I found out how to make a tiny hologram box, and that was really exciting. You just need a box, some glass or plastic, and a device to play a video from, and boom! I've sat watching Miku dance in that little box for quite a while, dreaming. Maybe one day. The reason why I made this video wasn't to be a sob story, but rather to connect with people who have similar experiences and to educate people on sensory sensitivities. Because in my life, I've encountered quite a few people who just don't know or don't understand why I don't swim, or why I say I can't watch their favorite TV shows with them. And when I try to explain, they've asked me if I'm mistaken, or if I'm faking, or maybe just don't like them. People my age at my art school, which is a very neurodivergent place, even said such things. So whether you're looking for someone to relate to, or trying to understand how your friends deal with things, or just trying to learn, I hope this was helpful. Just know that if we use our problem-solving skills, I'm sure that we can come up with ways to do these things, even if it takes just a few extra steps. If you like my art, or the video in general, I would greatly appreciate a follow or a like. Thank you very much, and goodbye!